First set, Roger Federer to serve.
At the start, the Spaniard is ready to receive.
Fifteen long. Thirty long.
And Federer, very much like Andy Roddick, likes to establish that wide slice early in the match.
Four too long.
Well, I think he succeeded in establishing it.
Forty 15. Game. Federer. First game.
Still bright sunshine on half of the centre court. This can be a little problem. Some will drift away into the scoreboard at the far end.
Ferrero in his last match started out very slowly against Florian Mayer. Finished in a hurry though.
Let. First service.
I think he favours the left foot on the evidence of a couple of matches I've watched him.
Played 8 times, so Roger knows he's going to be able to attack that second serve. Ferrero has won 3 of them, so there is hope. Certainly not on grass. That would be by far his probably the biggest win of his career if he could beat Federer on this surface today.
Had a good battle in Dubai, didn't they, on the hard court? Tiebreak in the third set. And,
well, Ferrero won the French in 2003 and got to the finals of the Open. He followed that up, we talked the semis of Australia, and it's just, to me, complete mental and physical exhaustion.
which is the Open, John? The Open.
Oh, did I not say the U.S. Open? I'm
No.
sorry. Don't get touchy. It's just started.
Well, Ferrero suffered from chicken pox back, what was it, last year, and some people are saying it took him a good year and a half to get rid of the effects, the after effects.
Can from
that
shingles
virus.
and things like that that can come after chicken pox. A lot of injuries too, didn't he? It's looking a little tense.
Let. Second serve.
Well, that's just the type of rally he wants to be in with Federer if he wants to pull off the upset. Got to get a few of the butterflies out and hold that first time. Because I don't recall. I know he lost to Rosetsky a few years ago here. I don't recall him playing a lot of matches on center court.
Well, Ferrero miles behind the baseline. An incredible angle.
all.
Tony Roach there in the foreground, the cap.
Dojo. to 13.
Perhaps it gave Juan Carlos Ferrero some hope that his countryman, Feliciano Lopez, became the first Spaniard in over 30 years to get to even the quarters here.
And we can't find an occasion when two Spaniards got through. So swings and roundabouts that.
I've also noticed these Spanish guys, there's a lot of good-looking Spanish guys. I mean, it's somewhat annoying for us mere mortals, but I mean, there's Moya, Ferrero, Nadal, Lopez, Robredo. I mean, Correia, I guess I'm not sure if he's playing anymore, but this, they just, not only are they good, but they got the girls falling all over.
And he's had a pretty good record as Ferrero. And
Take your seats quickly, please.
match against Lee in the second round was a real battle, and then after being a set down in the third round to Florian Mayer, really came back with style.
I was so happy to see Juan Carlos. I mean, he really jumped for joy when he beat Florian Mayer, who's not exactly a household name. Just that he got to the second round of 16, an opportunity to play the great Roger Federer.
Only the second time he's been here in this round. The last time was in his best year, 2003, when he very nearly became the #1 player at the end of the year. Lost out to Roddick. That was the year he won the French and was runner-up in the US Open.
Remember the French in 2002, Juan Carlos had, I believe, I might be off by 1 or 2, 43 injections during the tournament, which he ended up losing in the final to Albert Costa. I think they covered virtually every part of his body to keep him going. That catches up to you.
Sure does.
Well, he had an incredibly badly sprained ankle, didn't he, before the tournament, right before. I don't think they thought he was even going to start. 3 injections a day. Ouch.
He wasn't even going to post the next year in 2004. You had mentioned chickenpox, among other ailments. It was defended, but he wanted to defend his title, and they didn't want to go through that same scenario, I believe. So they sort of, you know, he ended up losing, I think, in the second round. And it's been an uphill battle for him for over a year, probably almost a year and a half. A nightmare for Ferrero. It's good to see him looking healthy. Nicely done. Ferrero's, you know, I mentioned to Sue, he's called the mosquito because that's right. He buzzes around the court. He's quick. He shows some nice feel there to flick that two-handed backhand away for a winner. You know, mosquitoes are also annoying, you know, because he's also that. He's good, you know, so he gets on people's nerves, especially on slow courts.
Ball.
Four to 13. Deuce.
Well, it's an interesting hat, and underneath it you'll find the editor of Private Eye, Ian Hislop.
Advantage Federer.
One of the loose ones. And Ferrero brings up first break point.
He needs to keep the unforced errors down very low to have a shot here. It's 3 straight loose points.
games to 1. First set.
A little disappointing because I think we'd all rather see the breaks won rather than conceded.
Yeah, he definitely gave that one away. Which will presumably allow Federer to relax just that little bit. Talk about tough to beat when he gets in a rhythm.
It was interesting to watch the two guys in the locker room during the Davenport match because Federer was very animated but totally relaxed. Ferrero was avidly doing his warm-up exercises. He looked just a bit tense.
It's the first serve that Roger served and volley behind. Good time when he's built up some confidence and a lead, but as good as he is at net, it's amazing he doesn't come in more often.
Game. Federer leads by 4 games to 1. First set.
Let's just take a quick check on what's happening on other courts here this evening at Wimbledon. And out on court 3, Andy Murray of Great Britain. His new hero, a mixed doubles match, but he's lost in the first round with his partner Shahar Peer, losing to Lucas Arnold and Emmanuel Gagliardi. 6-3, 6-4. Big crowd round court 3, as you would expect. Just next door on court 2, Sébastien Grosjean of France leads 2-1 over Dmitry Tursunov, but it's looking as though it's going to go to the 5th as he's 5-love down in the 4th set. So Tursunov, the conqueror of Henman, is still fighting here at Wimbledon. That's what's happening elsewhere.
The early break, as you said, John, will settle the Swiss. Saw one like that today, a bit shorter, looking as though he was auditioning for a part in
Reefer Madness.
It was a bit longer.
Quickly, please. Thank you.
Actually, I was thinking of Phantom of the Opera, but maybe yours was better. One four.
Absolutely huge forehand that Federer hit there. And he's daring Ferrero to come to net, which he doesn't want to do, hitting that knife backhand short. Forcing Ferrero to hit up on the backhand, which allows him the time to really load up on the one of the best shots in the game. He's got unbelievable racket head speed that he generates with his wrist, and it's times it so well. He seems to have such control. It seems effortless. So his whole game does.
(40-15).
Bad bounce, but fortunately well long for Ferrero.
There's a pothole behind the baseline where guys drag their foot on serve.
Game. Ferrero. leads by 4-2. First set.
Well, it was a good response, but the damage has been done perhaps in this opening set.
He's aware of the fact that balls are changed at 7 and 9. This is the fluffiest this set of balls will be, so perhaps a chance for Ferrero to get some more returns in.
15 love.
Perhaps.
I was just trying to give him hope.
Third love. Fourth love.
You can see his problem. He can get some returns back, but that doesn't mean by any stretch of the imagination he'll win the point.
Yes.
Four to 15.
But he needs shots like that rather earlier in the game. He's given the chance. Well picked up with the ball boy.
Game Federer. New balls, please. Federer leads by 5-2. First set.
John, you were saying he seems to have so much time, this man, whatever he's doing. It's the basis of his quality, right?
That's exactly right, because it's way harder than it looks, and he makes it look, this sport, very easy. It's not only the shots that he has, because he possesses an arsenal of those. It's also the way he moves on the court. You know, it reminds me a lot of Sampras. I mean, Sampras's speed around the court and his quickness was underrated, and I believe, if it's possible, so is Rogers. Rogers' game seems more fluid than Pete's. Pete had a little bit more power. His serve was a little bit harder. He attacked with a little more authority. So that's why I think that Roger has a little work to do before he becomes the greatest grass court player of all time. I think Pete's clearly holds that mantle right now.
He's such a great defender, Federer, though, isn't he? So he's perfectly happy just to bunt the ball back sometimes and react to whatever the opponent has to give him.
Sampras, for the record, was the last of 7 men who've won the Wimbledon Championship 3 years running or more. In this case, 4 times between 1997 and 2000 off the reel. 2-5. Ferrero serving.
Love. Go to love. Thirty 15.
John Carey, former German before Tim Phillips took the role. John stood down. as the man in charge now.
Forty 15. Federer leads by 5 games to 3. First set.
That probably his favourite stroke. So serving for the first set.
Low 15.
And offering early hope.
He's had a few careless forehands this last game or so.
Wait, please.
See, that's the shot he can ill afford to miss. He's got to make Federer work there, who's a little bit tense trying to serve out this first set. Very well done. That was the hardest serve Federer has hit at 130. And Ferrero smartly just uses pace, almost no backswing at all. And that came back in a hurry. He's in such good position here in that backhand. He really gets himself prepared, steps in. He knows exactly where he wants to hit it and how hard in order to get it by Ferrero.
Let second serve.
Another surprising miss from Federer gives Ferrero a chance to get back in this set. That's his first sign of emotion. Federer, little
Deuce.
pumps the fist, looks up at his girlfriend and Tony Roach. I said, don't worry, I still got it under control.
Advantage is Federer.
From break point for this man to set point for this man.
Game. First set. Federer.
Took just half an hour. Not vintage, but good enough.
Well, that's been the case so far with Roger. I mean, it's not maybe the best we've ever seen from him, but it's been plenty good enough to get him to this position in the tournament. And, you know, not much to go by here. Federer's first serve percentage has been good enough to keep Ferrero off balance, and Juan Carlos a little bit tight there in the beginning of the match cost him the serve.
Yeah, and Ferrero, of course, winning only 38% of the second serves. He needs to improve on that, get that up in the 50% mark if he's to have a better chance. Let me ask you this, Junior. When you played...
I'm not called Junior by many people, Barry, so I appreciate that.
When you played, did you ever consciously think about working your way into the tournament so that all right, you didn't play your best at the start, but you tried to build, or you trying to play your absolute very best in the first round?
Well, you would like to have a gear if necessary, but you do go into the tournament hoping that the preparation will allow you to play your best in the second week, where you're going to need it more, presumably, because you're going to play the best players. Sometimes you got to dig deep in the reservoir when you get yourself in trouble early in the event. You hope not to have that happen. Hope to have relatively easy matches, so that there's a lot left in the tank as the tournament progresses into the second week.
Thank you.
Well, Ferrero, as in the previous round, losing the opening set 6-3. Came back with aplomb from there, but at a rather lesser opponent.
15 love.
Florian Mayer.
Well, they're all lesser
German
opponents.
name.
He's #1 in the world.
How true.
I watched that match, and Ferrero started out very tentatively, but as the match wore on, got a lot more confidence. He started actually more brightly today. Does he have another gear still to go?
Well, I think he has another gear, because he could cut down on the errors and get his first serve percentage up. Said focus more on winning some second serve points, but he shouldn't bank on Federer's play coming down. That would be a mistake. I'd also recommend him getting to that gear shortly, very shortly, because he's going to be in big trouble if he doesn't.
We know he has that extra gear, but how many times has he actually been in that gear in the last year and a half?
I'm actually trying to remember a single time. Yeah, it's been a long uphill battle for him. I think he'd be happy if you said before the tournament, I have a chance to play Roger Federer in the round of 16 here at Wimbledon the second Monday. He would have taken it in a heartbeat.
Game. First game, second set.
But he's been a champion, Spaniard, albeit on another surface. And having got to the last 16, then he's going to say to himself, well, I'm going to play the game of my life, or the game of the last year and a half.
Absolutely.
Get back to the old form.
No question about it. He wants to show the big boys this is where he belongs. This is a great opportunity for him. No one's expecting him. Players, fans, people that follow the sport expecting him to beat Federer right now. Except maybe himself. He's got to find that belief. I'll tell you another guy who believes so is Antonio Martinez, his coach. He's been with Juan Carlos for, I believe, almost since he was a little kid, 15 years. Well, that's a good relationship.
Since he was known as Chavalito. Spanish for little kid.
Juan Carlos was so far behind the baseline. It's green again. But he hits a lot of balls from back there, especially on the slower court. So he's comfortable hitting shots. He recovered.
Oh, what a volley. What a volley.
Well, that point was two players playing at the top of their game. This is a very good passing shot, but this is what makes Federer such an awesome talent here at Wimbledon.
Let. First service.
Looked at his racket afterwards in some disbelief, and he sometimes says that he surprises himself.
All to 15. Game, Federer. One game more, second set. Love.
This is the problem for Ferrero. Federer more than comfortable just rallying from the baseline. But when presented with a short ball, he can go forward as well.
Correction. First serve.
Overruled by the umpire. Carlos Bernardes of Brazil.
Federer hit that backhand with some pretty good pace, but Ferrero really mishandled this volley.
Was this going to go in?
I think it would have dropped in. It had enough spin, but I mean, it was a very makeable shot. We will never know. I don't know if we'll continue. I doubt it will, but it's the first time I've ever watched Federer where this early part of this match, his backhand is better than his forehand. He's making a lot of mistakes on that forehand.
Ball to 13.
Oh, that's superb. Absolutely superb. Both wings functioning then, John, without question.
Again, Ferrero played an excellent point. He hit a good passing shot. Federer saw where he was on the court, so he didn't know. He knew he didn't have to hit too precise a volley, just to hit it to the open area.
Deuce. And from 14 at the net.
They faked him out.
Advantage in Ferrero.
It's a shot you often see Ferrero or Coria use, that little drop shot. He fooled Federer into thinking that may happen and then pushed it to the open court. Nicely done.
Game Ferrero. Ferrero leads by 2 games to 1, second set.
And that was a
Federer
good
leads by
hold.
1 set to love.
It was a very good one.
We should give credit to Ferrero, though, because he came out tight, which is hardly surprising. He's playing against a 2-time defending champion. He's, as we've talked about, chronicles his difficulties the last year and a half, but he's picked up his game as this match has progressed, and he's given Federer something to think about on the changeover.
I mean, do you think that he really? How long might it take for Ferrero to re-emerge into the top 10? He's obviously done very well over the last couple of months. Reached the finals in Valencia, or Barcelona, I beg your pardon. But I mean, could he just do it in 1 week?
Well, psychologically, he's got to overcome hurdles as far as, people aren't afraid of him on clay.
Time.
You were mentioning in the locker room before how he was getting himself ready with the people that work with him physically, and so that's a key. Obviously his health, because he's not a big guy. He's about 6 feet tall. He's about 160.
Please.
So he's going to have a little bit of luck to not get injured, have any of those issues. But it's certainly conceivable. He's young enough and he's talented enough, and it looks to me like mentally he really wants to prove himself again. And that's half the battle right there.
Well, they looked as though they were enjoying it on the hill. And it's 1-2, second set. First set to Federer.
Love.
Should be used to the warmth by now, Cyclops. Oh! That'll do nicely.
He's made a nice adjustment, I can see, on his return. He's
15
kept the
all.
backswing short on both sides, and he's using Federer's pace. He's hitting some winners off the return.
30-15.
That's when you know a guy's so confident. The guy hits a winner on the forehand, next serve, he goes right back to his forehand. Dares him to hit another one. Tried to there as well.
30 all.
response.
Federer had already dug himself out of trouble a few shots ago. That was a positively clay court response there from as far back as he was. That makes you believe he can win at the French.
Game. 2 games all.
The point before last showed us how effective a high lob can be. It's almost a forgotten shot in tennis these days. Just a defensive high lob. Try and get back into the point.
It's also another part of his game that's underestimated, how good he can play defense. If he's 160, he's putting 160 pounds of weight into that forehand. I mean, every ounce he's got. He still couldn't get it by Federer. What surface is this again? Is this grass?
15 all.
When Federer goes into the forehand corner to hit up what seems like a defensive shot and he rockets it out, I mean, can you compare that to Sampras's forehand in a similar situation?
Yeah, Sampras had some pop there. He'd set people up for that shot, just like Roger does.
Look at where that ball ended up.
The last and only Spaniard that ever won here,
15.
Manolo Santana, loved to hit this shot. He had great touch and used that drop shot to very good effect. I mean, see that face of the racket open up completely there. There was some major spin. That is so annoying. It's such a great shot. Foul it right up with a double fault.
No.
30 quarter.
And this is where Ferrero's problems are all in his head. Because as you said, he played a couple of great points and then just gave 2 right back.
Time to smile, but second serve on break point. He's a little unlucky, Federer.
Ferrero made the mistake of thinking he wasn't going to try to track that drop shot down. Federer got up in a hurry, and he had a good chance to win this point. Try coming back for this.
High advantage, Ferrero.
I think the forehand's just arrived, John.
Absolutely right. I mean, he's gaining in confidence, and he's forcing Ferrero to play better and better. And you can see Juan Carlos fighting himself. You know, how long can I keep this up? This is pretty good. I'm playing well. And down a set.
High advantage, Ferrero.
Yes, it's looking up statistically for Ferrero.
Deuce.
Well, Ferrero can't afford to hit any short balls, it seems. As soon as he does, Federer is onto it in a flash.
So quick to attack a short ball, and it's so difficult to tell when he's going to put something extra on it, like he did on that forehand.
Second break point in this game.
Federer leads by 3-2, second set, and by 1 set to love.
Early break again for Roger Federer, and the chance now for Jason Goodall to look at the man's slice backhand.
Well, thanks very much, Barry. He's got so many weapons in his armory, but I think the slice backhand is one of his most underrated shots. He prepares by taking the racket back nice and high, and he rotates the upper body really well, using the large muscle groups whilst maintaining an open stance with the feet. He then hits down on the ball with a slightly open racket face, and on contact the segments of the hitting arm are locked, which help him control the ball whilst his left arm is used to maintain his balance. And look at the timing. If you hit the ball that sweetly, you can really make the ball your servant. It's very similar to the technique used on his backhand volley, both of which are very sound and effective, particularly on grass here at Wimbledon.
Time.
And the Swiss world number one. So the set and 3-2 with the break. The Swiss scarf, the national
Thank you.
flag being the white cross on a red background.
quite sure why Ferrero moved inside the baseline to try to handle that overhead. He's looking a little discouraged. It's hard for him not to be right now, setting to break down. Well, believe it or not, Roger, let me tell you from experience, you don't get a perfect bounce every time on grass. I didn't like where it bounced that time, but it's truer than it's ever been here at Wimbledon.
40-15.
Now, relatively speaking, it's like playing on a snooker table.
Federer leads by 4-2.
And the Spaniard barely had the chance to think about breaking back before he was another game down.
Okay, what is this? I know that they change rackets when the balls change, but now he's doing it a game early. Why is that?
That you know, you got me on that one. I used to see Nastase serve with one racket and return with a different one, but you know, we know he's a little crazy. Whatever it is, Peter, the stringers are happy.
Yeah.
They're richer than they've ever been. It's unbelievable how often these guys change their rackets.
Low to long.
Well, I can see the sense of changing your rackets every time the balls are changed because, you know, the new, faster balls, you want a tight string job. That makes sense. But doing it the game before the balls are changed, when the balls are still really heavy, that doesn't, I don't get it.
Maybe it's the theory that when you put on a new pair of sneakers that you like to break them in a little bit before you go out and start the match. And in this case, he wants to get one game in before he gets new balls.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Ball to 15. Again, Ferrero. New balls, please. Federer leads by 4-3, second set, and by 1 set to love.
Well, it's truly a wonderful summer's evening. And still big crowds around Wimbledon and obviously on the main show courts. One court in the distance, and down we come into the most famous court in the world.
But it goes to an interesting point, Peter, about basically these idiosyncrasies as we look at, what's it called now? I'm not sure what it's called anymore.
Just call it the Hill.
The Hill?
Okay. Actually, you're playing tomorrow. Is there any way we could? No, I don't think so.
I don't think you'll be real crowded for that. But basically, you do whatever it takes for you to feel like you're going to play your best tennis. I remember Jimmy Connors would. There were stages where he put on a new pair of sneakers almost every match. I hear Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player of all time, he changed and put on a new pair of sneakers at halftime. So he played 2 pairs in one game. Most people like to sort of break their equipment in a little bit before they test it out there on perhaps the center court of Wimbledon. Hello, everybody. Got to string together some returns like that to try to get back in this match before he goes down 2 sets to love.
Vicious.
You know, we don't talk much about Federer's serve, but it's pretty darn good. He's getting 2 out of 3 first serves in, and he can place the ball anywhere, and he backs it up. When you think you've like got yourself in the point, like Ferrero did, push that ball relatively deep, and then Federer just hurts him from the baseline.
Yeah, he backs it up so well.
Ball 2-15.
That's a serve that can be so effective here. Wimbledon, slicing into your body. You got 2 hands, you can't get out of the way of it.
Game. Federer. Federer leads by 5 games to 3. Second set.
You can see why he's so tough to break, Barry.
And
What's this?
you can see the enthusiasm of the crowd at Wimbledon. That is the queue for return tickets. And we are at 7:32 in the evening.
No, surely that must have been the cue for handing out lottery tickets, right?
Federer keeps that racket in front of him and just punches the volley off to the open court. It can't be this easy. He's just giving you a glimpse of the whole arsenal. I mean, this ball stays so low, sets him up for that forehand. It's this size. I can't put it away, so I'll just put it nice and deep to set myself up for that shot.
Ferrero was on a side road, suddenly found himself on the motorway. Crowd trying to encourage the Spaniard. They want this to go on
30 all.
for rather longer than the 3 it looks destined for at the moment. That's one area that Ferrero has the advantage.
Ball 2-13. Second set, by 1 set to love.
Well, the latest news from court number 2 in the match between Sebastian Grosjean and Dmitry Tursunov, who had put out Tim Henman earlier in the championships. It went to the 5th and final set, but the Frenchman took control, and Grosjean is through to the quarter-final, where he will meet Andy Roddick. That's on Wednesday.
And before we get to what Federer hopes will be the decisive game of this set, a message from the referee Alan Mills to you two. Are you prepared to play your key doubles match at high noon tomorrow?
I'm not prepared to even think about it till this set's over, so he's going to have to come back to me. There's more important things at hand. I've got to focus in on what Ferrero needs to do to try to make this second set competitive. Maybe hope that Federer tightens up a little bit like he did those last 3 points when it looked like he may break again and start the third set serving. At least it's made him, given him something to think about on the changeover.
You mean you're worried about having a late night?
Yeah, I really am. You got to think of all the options. That's unbelievably good. It's forcing Ferrero to shorten his swings and to desperately try to hang into points. Still nothing he could do there.
That's a great return there.
15 all.
Ferrero has not played poorly. He's playing better and better. He's played a very good second set. Still in trouble.
Go to 15.
Close.
Let. First service. Let.
Oh, good
First
catch.
service.
Look it well.
Should
Just
use
let
that
the
other
arm.
hand. He doesn't want to hurt his thumb or something.
4 to 15.
So, 2 set points. Well played, Ferrero.
He sprinted to each side of the court a couple times to win that point. It's a great effort by Juan Carlos there.
Still faces set point.
Let. First service. Out. Deuce.
It's called in by the linesman, but called out by the chair umpire. I think it was a good overall. We're on the other end, but it didn't appear to be long.
Federer.
Set point for the 3rd time.
by 2 sets to love.
And I think, Pete, it would be fair to say no man could have tried harder to stem the tide than Juan Carlos Ferrero.
No, certainly not. I think that, as John was saying, he's played well. He's played probably as well as he has all year long. And he's up against a better player, a truly great champion. I mean, the stats here: first serves in from Ferrero, 84%, and he still lost the set. I mean, come on.
That's not fair. That is not fair.
I mean, that's all you could ask of Juan Carlos. I mean, Federer has lifted his game, and now you see why he's won this tournament the last couple of years. And he's just got Ferrero doing everything he possibly can to make this competitive. He's got to just somehow look at the bright side, being there's a crowd that wants to see a lot more tennis. There's a lot of energy in the crowd. He's played well, and so he shouldn't allow himself, if possible, to get discouraged here. Just don't think more than a point or two ahead of. Don't think about the fact you're 2 sets down and how much farther you have to do to come back. Just take it really one step at a time. The old cliche. It's just packed in here. People. It's a perfect time to play tennis too, and watch it.
It has been a beautiful day throughout. I mean, early in the first week, it was sultry. Just about perfect weather
Third
today.
set, Ferrero to serve.
So can the Spaniard find a way?
Long. Left. First service.
Well, he had to go for a winner. Look how far off the court he is when he hits this return. It's
Yeah, but this was just a bit of fun, wasn't it?
like, well, I suppose. It's not fun when he looked at the result. That's more fun.
30-15.
But it must get to the point sometimes for Federer when he's playing so well that he just thinks he can do anything.
I think anything he can. He wants to make returns, make Ferrero keep working. He knows Ferrero's not going to serve and volley. That's a given. He's yet to come in behind his serve in this match.
First game, third set.
Huh?
15 long.
the match progresses, you'll see Federer start coming in more on his serve. Either he feels his opponent's discouraged mentally, or he's tired physically, but he seems to feel more comfortable up there as the sets wind down. But he took his eye off the ball. He looked to see if Ferrero was even going to try to get back in the court. And he went back to hit it. He just maybe he was looking to see if it was going to drop in the court too. Either way, he shouldn't have missed it.
So intimidating when he plays this swashbuckling style.
Game. Federer. 1 game all. Third set.
Intimidating is a good word, Peter, because right now Ferrero's got that resigned look of someone who's overmatched. And he's having a tough time fighting through that right now. And Federer, of course, senses that and is looking to go in for the kill.
On your marks.
Out. Love 30.
A call from the chair for the linesman.
It's 2 loose points. Love 30.
As on the previous occasion.
He's had a good day, that umpire. It's some solid overrules.
Record that one for posterity, by the way.
I'll just say it's Carlos Bernandez. Is that
Bernardes?
Bernardes? Okay, well, my tongue got tied. I didn't want to say it right.
And Miss Piggy. Is there any connection there? .15:30, second serve.
And that's what Ferrero does best. And he can't even win a point in that situation.
15-14.
You can't blame him for not quite knowing what to do here.
Found the white stuff. Needs another like it.
Deuce.
So hard to handle that sort of pace.
It's also tough to tell where it's going. So you just hit a winner a couple points ago with the forehand up the line.
Break point again.
Deuce.
Well, it's difficult to see on television, but it's spellbinding how hard these two players are hitting the ball.
Looks almost dejected.
He's digging deep. He's sucking it up, Ferrero, but it's so difficult to contend with this variety of shot that Federer has. Can't relax out there.
For the 4th time.
Deuce.
Just listen to the reaction from the crowd. I have sympathy with the Spaniard.
Well, they know and appreciate how hard Ferrero's trying just to stay out here on the center court.
Interesting reaction from Federer, though. I missed one. Don't do that again.
Great shot.
Ferrero leads by 2 games to 1, 3rd set.
And
Federer leads by 2 sets to 1.
Ferrero deserves a standing ovation for that one game.
You're looking at one of the great.
Jason Goodall?
Well, thanks, Barry. Well, Federer's used his first serve very intelligently so far in the match, hitting his targets with a healthy 68% finding their mark. So Ferrero's had to try and make the most of any looks he gets at the Federer second serve, which isn't quite as pacey or accurate. In an attempt to try and take the game to Federer, he's tried to use a very aggressive position when returning well up the court. But whilst the attitude is commendable, it's proved a different proposition in reality. And on occasion, he's looked more than a little rushed, which isn't surprising given that on clay he likes to give himself an awful lot more time to return, often letting the ball drop when returning second serves in order to contact the ball at a more comfortable height. Whereas Federer has looked very much more at home, using the conditions to his advantage today, and that for me has been one of the fundamental differences between the two players.
I think you're looking at one of the best holes you've seen at Wimbledon this year. Ferrero pulled out of that game. I mean, Federer was really looking to take over and finish this off. You got to give Juan Carlos a lot of credit. see if that can give him a little bit of momentum. He's only had one break point this entire match.
Love 15.
He's lost 6-3, 6-4. Desperate to find a way in.
Ah, 15 all. Let. First service. Wait, please. Oh. 30-15.
All the time, Federer is asking questions.
40-15. Game. Federer. Two games all. Third set.
Well, he succeeded in doing what he wanted to do there was put the pressure right back on Ferrero. That game was quick. Ferrero's got to be thinking, I've got to serve again already. I just had to work so hard to hold the last game, and here I am again, fighting just to really stay in the match. What do you make of the new racket this time?
Two games.
Two games before, so he's throwing your.
15
So
all.
he doesn't want it. He doesn't want to change anything before his serve. Federer.
Third love.
Yeah, it makes no sense because then why wouldn't he just wait till 25 games when the balls do change?
7:59. 30 love Ferrero. 2 errors from Federer.
$30-15.
And at 7:59 and 20 seconds, normal service is resumed. Danger signals again. To some extent, you might think this is an hour and a half of torture for Juan Carlos Ferrero. Actually, I think he's enjoying the challenge, just trying to find a way in.
Well, that'll inspire him that Roger's showing some frustration. He's getting angry at himself that feels like it's not going just the way he wants it.
Dinner table's booked for 9, clearly.
Deuce.
It's another free point.
He certainly needs all the luck he can get.
Let. First service. Game. Ferrero. Ferrero leads by 3 games to 2, third set. Federer leads by 2 sets to 1.
It's the Millennium Building, players' restaurant above that of the members. I suspect not too many members up there at the moment, because it's pretty crowded here on centre court. Just a beautiful evening.
Oh, I love you too, honey.
On such a night as this. Well, he's hanging in there, isn't he?
That's exactly what he's doing, and it takes some mental strength to do that. And given all that he's gone through, you were absolutely right, Barry. He's enjoying the challenge of this, and he's playing as if he belongs out there, and that he belongs in a place in the round of 16. So for that alone, he should be given a lot of credit for. And you still, no matter how good you are, you got to finish a guy off. So stranger things have happened in sports.
No doubt that the crowd would love to see a break here, just to prolong the quality.
Fault.
First time I've seen Juan Carlos look sluggish, moving back for that forehand. Maybe a little fatigue. It's not often you see Ferrero hit slice forehands. He's done that 2 points in a row. That's when you know he's desperate.
Rates himself after every small error.
Let. First service. (40-15).
Well, you know, Barry, you made a flippant comment a couple of minutes ago about Federer having a 9 o'clock dinner reservation, but perhaps he can see that there's a slim possibility, if he doesn't win the set, that they won't finish tonight.
Yes, it's good.
And with rain forecast for tomorrow,
40-13.
see, perfectly placed return. With rain forecast tomorrow, if they had to carry this over till Wednesday, that would totally disrupt his schedule.
was a very, very physical point there.
Deuce.
Longest of the match. This will have to go at least through 4 sets. So, to me, the only way this won't be finished is if it goes to a 5th set. Unless Ferrero can get him to play a lot more rallies like that. You mentioned it earlier, Peter, how quickly he jumps on that short ball. He senses it coming, he gets himself in position, and he uses that speed off with the racket, and he's up at net in a heartbeat.
Game, Federer. New balls, please. Three games all.
Interesting setup he's got with his girlfriend. His girlfriend and his business manager. Tony Roach, his new coach. How's that? You win 3 or 4 majors without a coach and then hire someone. It's a tough gig for Tony.
Just to see if Tony can handle the pressure.
Nowhere to go but down him.
Lock. Third lock. $30-15.
That was a beautiful shot to everyone except Ferrero.
30-all. Federer leads by 4 games to 3, third set. Federer leads by 2 sets to love.
You can really see where the crowd's affections lay, simply to prolong the match. The London skyline on a beautiful June evening. Down across Wimbledon Park. That's the Wimbledon Tennis Club and Hockey Club. Well, they could bring it here, tennis in 2012. Certainly none of the other bidding cities have got anything to match this place.
Well, certainly not.
You're saying Flushing Meadow in New York's not as beautiful as Wimbledon?
Yes, that's precisely what I'm saying. Or anywhere else. And they say they can get the courts absolutely pristine in the gap between the Wimbledon Championships and the championship that would take place in the Olympics. It would be down to this gentleman, Tim Phillips, and his many cohorts. New chief executive will be installed well by then, in fact taking over next year.
Thank you.
Which he will be the man to succeed Mr. Gorringe.
And by then, presumably, they'll have a roof over the head, overhead, right? Seems to me that Federer is playing into Ferrero's hands a little bit here. A number of long, extended rallies. It's making Ferrero believe again. Maybe it isn't over.
$15. 30-15.
It's nice to pull that serve out of the back pocket when you need it.
Thank you.
Come on, Henman. Caused a couple laughs.
They'll be saying that again, have no doubt about it. Well done, Juan Carlos Ferrero.
I think you're right. I think Federer's played Ferrero into this match.
30-14.
He's got a second break point chance. And a chance to perhaps serve for the set.
Thank you. Deuce.
How disheartening that must be. He grits his teeth again to try again.
Two of the best forehands in the game are watching on this court right now.
Yes.
Ferrero, to his credit, has been able to flatten out that forehand, hit it with more pace. Normally you see it heavily topspin. Ball barely clipped the outside of the line.
Game. Federer. Four games on. Third set.
It's a tough game and no consolation to Ferrero. On the Federer serve, the average for the first 2 sets was 3 strokes. It's gone up to 5, but he's still winning the game. Perhaps I was right. Huge pressure on Ferrero in this game.
Long.
Fooled Juan Carlos. He thought he was going to go up the line to his forehand. Just clipped the tape there. He's anxious to end it. He's run through a couple balls in this game. That first point in the forehand, now that volley. He could have easily been up 40 love here.
Well, all things are relative, but I'm sure they might agree on the hill that that was one of the easier games for Ferrero. Peter?
Yeah, certainly. Well, it seems that Federer's game has become a bit more frenetic as this third set has worn on. He was playing so well, hitting the ball with such power and precision to start the set that the slice backhand, which often he uses so well to throw the opponents off their rhythm. He's almost jettisoned the slice backhand recently. He just hit topspin on both sides and hit so hard that he's played Ferrero into the match.
You look at the court a little bit, it's beat up close to the baseline. That's where he started to mumble and grumble there. Roger's not getting the bounce that he's like. So if I were him, I would do it exactly what Peter suggests. Use that backhand to set up the forehand, but make sure he has enough time to go after the ball, because he's trying to hit the ball awfully hard from difficult positions.
Thank you. Ready for play. Thank
Ferrero
you.
has really hung tough here, to his credit.
Thank you.
It comes to an end at the scoreboard. 4-5.
Good try by Juan Carlos. He figured Federer would be
15
hovering
long.
close to the net. Just couldn't get under it enough.
Third love. Thirty, 15.
Concentration.
40, 15.
His count up to 8.
Let versus. Game, second. Five games on. Third set.
Well, they appreciate their football. It's good off both sides. Ferrero looks up to his camp
Long
to
15.
see what they thought of the call, and they I think all agree, unfortunately, that it was wide. First point. There's an example of what I think Peter was talking about in the changeover. Why did he just didn't slice that ball into play?
15 all.
He knows Ferrero's not going to serve and volley. Try to hit too big a return.
Oh.
But how exhilarating it must be to be able to play tennis like this.
Same look to the camp and same end result. Another ball just wide. Now Federer with a couple of break points.
Good serve. Put everything into that. He's got to do it again.
Proposition.
Time. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, they've come off the common.
Love 15.
And they're finding there's nothing commonplace about this match.
Thank you. Out.
That's his first double fault in the match.
So far this game, he's missed a makeable volley and followed up with a double fault. That's why you see him so angry with himself.
Please.
Oh, yes! That's Ferrero at his best, and he had a target, and he got it whistling past him.
I thought Ferrero was going to move to the forehand and try to go behind Juan Carlos. This may go to a tiebreak.
Break points.
Well, we stayed on late to see if Federer could serve it out. He couldn't. I'm afraid we can't stay anymore, so you can continue to watch this match on Interactive. We'll bring you the result in today at Wimbledon at 9:30. But tomorrow it's ladies' quarter-finals day, and we'll be back at noon on BBC Two. Bye for now.
Surely.
That was a strange decision there by Federer.
1-0.
He's feeling the pressure. And Peter, you're right, because it looks now like if they play this and Ferrero wins it, they will have a tough time playing another set.
That's a big tiebreaker for Federer, no question.
Thank you.
That was an absolutely amazing get by Federer there. Ferrero can't believe he tracked that down. He couldn't have possibly hit a better passing shot.
Thank you. Two, one. Federer.
Ferrero surely didn't hit that drop shot as well as he would have liked, but Federer let him off the hook there.
Oh, it's silly tennis.
Certainly while there's a packed house still enjoying this match. It's great stuff being played.
First break in the tie.
It's rare to see any emotion from Juan Carlos, but I mean, he's got to be feeling very good about the way he's playing.
Thank you.
It's the hardest serve he's hit today.
For all.
Continue to be amazed at how hard Federer is trying to hit that backhand. Ferrero is too quick to get the ball by him a lot.
Thank you.
Juan Carlos has done that to many your opponent. Found that angle. Federer finally
6-5.
8:41 has a match point.
Thank you. Thank you.
Remember how he struggled in the first set with his serve? And he has done a great job to win some points. None more important than that one. How nice it is to win some free points on that serve.
Now that little bit of extra pace.
7-6. Federer.
You knew it was going to be bad news for Ferrero when Federer put that forehand back in the left-hand corner, his favorite position.
Thank you. Thank you.
Match point for the champion for the second time. But they are standing up all around the centre court to salute the champion and to salute the contender, who between them produced an absolutely delightful match of quality tennis.
Well, there was relief for Federer, obviously, but belief that he's going to do it his way. And this guy, Juan Carlos Ferrero, has a lot to be proud of. He performed as well as he possibly could today in center court.
Yeah, and perhaps just the little sniff of this environment and the fact that he can compete with Federer on his best surface, maybe that will help lead Ferrero back at the top of the game where he belongs.
Let's hope.
Champion back again in the quarter-final round, winning 6-3, 6-4, 7-6.
So there goes Roger Federer. What a battle on centre court, and what a treat for all the fans watching there through 6-3, 6-4, 7-6. And as we just take a look at the match summary, I can tell you that you'll meet Fernando Gonzalez of Chile in the quarter-finals. The other matchups in the men's draw, Leighton Hewitt against Lopez, Feliciano Lopez of Spain. Johansson, that's Thomas Johansson against David Nalbandian. Sebastian Grosjean won through a mammoth 5-setter against